Guess who's back? Back again for another crazy season. The show, the longest running show about the St. Louis Battlehawks, the one, the only B-Hawk Live. I am the loudmouth of the Midwest, the Pat McAfee of the UFL, the Stu Gotts of spring football, the one, the only Dirty. And then these two joining me, the Hyena and Big Daddy Ed.
You think so highly of yourself. I'm so happy you feel that way.
Hey, here's the idiot producer. He's gone. We're getting rid of the producer tonight, so that's how that works. You know, the producer just doesn't hop on. The producer just doesn't hop on. Dirty show and try to chime in until I bring.
I want to come on publicly and say that you didn't have no music on. Nobody could hear the crap.
Yeah, we didn't have an intro or nothing.
Yeah, you did. I was playing.
Nobody heard it.
No, we didn't hear nothing.
You idiot.
You guys are lying.
So Pat
all we
McAfee,
all we heard was your chops. Good
Listen,
job, Pat.
Why you guys? Yeah, that's what McAfee does. Why are you guys being so angry? We have a very
because you're an
special
idiot.
guest. A very special guest tonight.
Dummy for 2020.
Is that wrote this wonderful article from our friends at Pro Football Newsroom. You know me, I don't know how to say last names, so that's just typical of Dirty, because Dirty's an idiot. What does our producer say? What our producer say? I'm not listening to him. Oh, there you go. The one and the only Gavin. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing very good. Thank you guys very much for having me on.
I have no idea why you wanted to join this. As somebody right here, the nerd says, "Welcome back to the shit show." I don't know why you'd want to join us, but I guess you're forced because we're all part of the Pro Football Newsroom. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's my pleasure. Really happy to be here, and I mean it. So,
so Gavin, let's really get into it because you wrote this article, which you can find over on Pro Football Newsroom, or you can find it on I guess it's the UFL Newsroom too, what Stefan changed into and all that good stuff, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so you put up there you wrote there the 3 changes I'd make to the St. Louis Battlehawks in 2024. Right. Now Daddy Ed might get mad at you, so I'm going to apologize because Daddy Ed doesn't think anything should change about the Battlehawks.
No, Gavin, I apologize on behalf of Dirty. His mouth flaps.
That ain't true. He's gonna help me land the mascot gig. That's what I want to do.
That's all we need. So first, Gavin, let's get into it. The merger's finally done. We're hearing it. What are you thinking of this merge league that we have so far?
Well, I'm just so happy that it's done. Like I was seeing on Twitter, or X as some people call it, just a lot of players are really disappointed that a lot of the teams are gone, and that's really understandable. It's less opportunities, but like at the same time, just a lot of these teams just simply weren't pulling their weight, and like for spring football to survive into the future, like we need to just cut off the fat teams that don't have sufficient fan support, and like it's really like this or it's nothing. Like we can't have empty stadiums. Like the revenue needs to come in. Like I was reading a Sports Illustrated article. It was saying that the league lost $60 million in 2023, and I mean it's a lot of money. So like if we're gonna have spring football, it's like this is the next step.
Daddy Ed, listen, you got somebody that's backing your argument. I'm always saying I could care less about, the people in the seats, but you got the guy Gavin right here agreeing with you. I mean, what do you want to say to him, Daddy Ed, about that?
Oh, I was oh God, how many feathers do I want to ruffle tonight?
It's B-Hawk Live. It's our first show of the new year, so let's ruffle some.
Well, it's B-Hawk Live, so I'm not going to ruffle any Battlehawk feathers, but there was plenty of feathers out there on the West Coast. The green worms, they want to sit here and they want to keep bitching about not being in the new league, but their fan base didn't support them. I guess that's what you get when you don't support your team. I mean, they had the team, they had the excitement, loved everything about their team, but their fan base didn't show up. So that's what happened.
Hyena, I know you got something to say because you love one of the professionals. Show me up.
Mm-hmm. This just goes back to what I've been saying. It's all about the fans, and without the fans, things can happen, right? And this just goes to show that league is important without the fans. And I was telling Dirty this the other day. The NFL had to start somewhere, right? It had to start somewhere. And at the end of all of this, now look at where we're at and how far the XFL now has come to the UFL. So I'm really excited for this season. But that's why I'm saying the NFL wouldn't be what it is today without the fans in the stadium, just like same with this league. So.
Now, Gavin, so let me ask you a question. You know, we've talked about this for months on this show. You know, Daddy Ed had the great Karnak where he had predicted, you know, the teams that were going to be around and stuff like that. Were you shocked at any of the teams that made it, or were you disappointed that some other teams should have made it that shouldn't have made it?
I am surprised that Seattle didn't make it, but I can understand why it was done. Like, don't quote me on it, but I believe it was something about the stadium deal. Just the Lumen Field was a bit too expensive.
Yeah, and then if you asked Daddy Ed, their TV ratings were terrible in the tanker too.
They ranked number 8 out of 8 teams in viewership. So
yeah, I didn't know that, but I mean, like you can't argue with stuff like that. Like, it's unfortunate, but again, if we're gonna have a league at all, just like cuts need to be made. Like, at the same time, though, and this ties into my article, just like with the surviving teams, it's really important that, like, in this developing stage, when the league will necessarily have to lose money, like, they need to take the steps to build these fan bases up and actually get those fans in the stands, get people watching on TV. And I think a lot of that is by just like personalizing those teams, like making it feel very, very connected to the city. And that's that inspired a lot of my suggestions. But again, they are suggestions; they aren't demands, obviously. So I'm open for discussion, debate. I'm just trying to open the conversation.
Yeah, and that's what our show is about. And it's about the fans. You know, as you see the fans, they're all wanting to hear. And if you guys, like I said, if you guys haven't seen Gavin's article, it is on Pro Football Newsroom right now. You can read it, which I'm going to pull it back up. And here it is: the 3 changes that the city needs, that the Battlehawks need to change in 2024. You know, let's go to the surprise that the St. Louis Battlehawks will make their triumphant return in 2024. This time under the banner of the USFL XFL merger, which is now called the United Fan League. So there you see that the kickoff and recording we recorded the 5 highest home attendant games. They said that we were the premier market, you know, but here's where you go to say the job is far from over. However, St. Louis is a football city as of now. The UFL is barely tapping into its potential as a market. Now, why are you saying that? What from being an outsider looking in, why are you saying that they are barely tapping into the market for marketing?
Well, St. Louis is a huge market. Like, if you look at the metro areas for American cities, like, I think St. Louis is around 2021. Like, it's bigger than a lot of these NFL markets. And frankly, the fans in the area are starved for football. Like, some of these other markets are like San Antonio. Like, I think there's a lot of people who want to see good football, and the Battlehawks, like, they've been providing that. And I think if they just keep going, if they keep pressing hard, like, it'll keep getting bigger, and I don't see any sign of it stopping.
Okay. I mean, Daddy Ed, you're right along with that, aren't you? You've been saying that, have you not?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obvious that St. Louis has the most successful market. There's no doubt about that. But I think we got to use that to be able to promote the league too. And so I think that there's a lot of there's a lot of opportunity there to get other fan bases involved and grow the market everywhere besides just St. Louis.
Hyena, I know you want to say something about marketing.
Like what marketing?
Yeah, like what marketing? No,
All right.
I will say no. Listen, I will say this in defense of them. I will, as long as we've had to wait for all this information, I am very impressed so far on how on track they are and how they did have all of this planned out. So, kudos to them, and I'm really excited for this season because it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Now, Gavin, the next thing right here I have getting a mascot. You're saying who doesn't love a mascot? A mascot's wacky antics are almost universally appreciated in person and on television alike. You can do much to enhance the game day experience. Mascots are often a big part of the team's identity. You know, then you think of the Philly Fanatic or Orbit and Simply. And as you see right here back in 2020, Kurt Hunzinger was going to this. If we would have made it to, 2021, he'd have had Archie B. Hawk. Now, I think you might have touched a nerve because we already have a person chiming in going, we don't need a mascot. We have Ball Hawk 1, LOL. Why do you think it is important that the Battlehawks should have a mascot, or should they just adopt Ball Hawk 1 as the mascot?
Hey, if they're willing to do that, like that completely ties into my argument. I just think it's good having a mascot. I think the XFL really they are a professional sports league, but a lot of people don't see it that way because they see it as like an echelon below the NFL. So I think like just in terms of making the league seem more legitimate, just more serious, like it's like a long-term thing that you can follow and get invested in. I think it's important to have these little touches like that make it feel more fleshed out and alive. And I think fans like mascots. So I'm just saying if they can get stuff going, then like I fully support that.
I see that shit-eating grin on Daddy Ed's face. Go on, Daddy Ed. What do you want to say?
Give me a four-wheeler, see what happens.
I was just gonna say that.
Give me a four-wheeler and see what happens.
Oh my God,
man! I tell you what, it would be worth the price of admission.
Just wrap them in bubble wrap.
Looking forward to it.
Hyena, would you want to see a mascot?
Yeah, if it was my dad, absolutely. I think it would be funny. I'd be for it. Oh, completely.
Could you imagine fire and ice on the four-wheelers?
No.
Holy cow.
I could. Now, this one might be, I think, Gavin, this
shut up, doctor. Shut up.
I think
you ain't got something good to say, go away.
Oh, here we go. Can we get back to it, Daddy Ed? Because a lot of people have said this changing the logo. This will certainly be controversial, but I hope you hear me out. The name Battlehawks was chosen as a homage to the St. Louis history and aviation, while naturally adopting the image of a hawk to represent the band. And then you put on the XFL's Twitter and all of that right there. And then as you go down, and oh God, you had to do this, didn't you? You say, for me, the sword with the wing logo has nothing to pay tribute to the city's aviation history, and it scratches the surface of what qualifies as a bird logo. I personally believe that the only reason it was chosen was so it could easily be recognized as a team design on the team helmets. Listen, I've said it. I hated the wing and I hated the helmets because it looked like a male genitalia on your forehead. That's what it looked like.
Did you just? I'm so okay.
I kept it clean. You
Gavin,
know,
I told you. I warned you.
I don't know where you're coming from though. I can't ever say that I had wings, but go ahead.
But anyways, I've said that I've never really liked the logo that the Battlehawks picked. So now that because this whole call is law thing has been adopted, you're saying we should switch it more to like a bird?
Well, I think we already have the logo, so I think it. my argument is really subjective. Like personally, I think just like aesthetically, it's superior. But I'll be honest, like I don't hate the sword with wings. I really like it. I think it should be the secondary logo. However,
I like these logos better that you put up. I like that logo better. I like that logo right there of the Steel Hawk.
yeah, I think the armored Battlehawk is really cool. I understand why the league is doing it, putting like the league like logo, like the XFL logo on the 50-yard line. But I think like if they were to put the team logos on their respective fields, I think this armored Battlehawk logo would look fantastic in the dome. Like I think it would look incredible on TV. Like that's kind of what I'm going by. But I understand like I've struck a nerve here, and I'm just thinking about like my argument. Like we're talking about building the brand in this developmental stage, and if it's really going to strike a nerve with a lot of the fans, like that's obviously not what you want to do. So sometimes even if something seems like the right decision, sometimes like you gotta bite the bullet and not go through with it. So like I'm just putting it out there as a suggestion. I think it's a better logo, but I understand a lot of people like it. It's very clever. It has the upside down STL on it, but I think it should be the secondary logo personally.
See, I knew I brought somebody that was intelligent on this show tonight for a reason, because he's the guy that agrees with me. I've never liked our logo that much. So, like, what about the logo behind the hyena? You think we should do something like that?
You can't really see it.
Well, it looks pretty cool. Like I said, I do like the bird heads.
See, Daddy Ed, what is your take on what he's saying? Change the logo.
Can we just ever have anything be more than a year long? Every year we got to reinvent the wheel. Let's have a year 2, year 3, whatever. But I have no problem with what he's saying, and he doesn't have to worry about upsetting anybody, because you got the good doctor over here in the comment thing. He's talking a bunch of crap. He keeps everybody getting fired up, but so you don't have to worry about doing that. But no, I can see where your logo would look good on a helmet. I could see that. I could very well see that, but it wouldn't be top priority.
Right.
The top priority is to change my name to Archie.
I love stirring the pot with Big Daddy Ed. You see how angry he gets? I love doing it to him.
God.
It's so fun.
I'm gonna, instead of the Great Karnak, I'm gonna put Big Daddy Ed, aka Archie. That's
Now, hold on. Now listen, right here. I mean, listen. Gavin's not saying the logo's terrible. Right, Gavin? You're not saying that, right?
No, absolutely not. Like, there's a reason why I wear it everywhere. So,
right, exactly. You're not saying it's bad. You're just saying to spice things up in the largest market, let's do something, right?
Well, I think it works better as the secondary. I think it's a little like maybe just a little busy. I feel like the hawk would look better on hats. Like I said, I think it would look better on the 50-yard line, but that's subjective. But I mean, like in spite of everything I've said, like I just am glad that we did get a bird logo at all. Mm-hmm. Like in 2020, when we did get the secondary logo, the one behind you, like I was frankly rather disappointed that like for like our primary was a sword with wings, and the secondary was also a sword with wings. So I was kind of confused on why they didn't do something different with it. But now we at least have a bird logo. And like if it's not going to become the primary, I would at least like to see them do a little more with it, which kind of ties into my third point a little.
And Daddy Ed, you are going to love this one. Are you ready, Daddy Ed?
I'm ready. Fire away, man.
You guys are going to love it. Merchandising. Merch.
Oh,
Every
no.
sports fan loves the
Oh, yes.
Oh,
let's talk about merch.
Go ahead before I can even read it. Go ahead.
License plates, bourbon glasses. We need bourbon glasses. We need beer glasses. Oh my God! What else can we have?
XLT shirt.
Oh yeah, we got to have clothes that end with XLT.
Okay, can I at least read and then let Gavin explain why he said it, Daddy Ed, and then you could go on your Daddy Ed rant? It said, unfortunately, if you were a St. Louis if you were a Battlehawk fan in 2023, you were pretty much out of luck. Nearly every design in the XFL shop was either on T-shirts, caps, or sweatshirt, featuring nothing more than the primary logo or the team's name. The few exceptions did little past that. In 2020, the catalog was vast, very, very vast. And you were right here. The biggest offender of all were the jerseys because they were so generic looking. People buying the jerseys to represent their favorite players. Customized jerseys, unfortunately, weren't available last season. You'll go on to mention to buy Battlehawk replica jerseys, which is only available with number 54 and 23. The name, you had the Dwayne Johnson nameplate. You had to pay almost $200, an entire $60 more than a replica jersey. No, that was the biggest complaint for everybody. Like right here, cheaply made. I've seen better material made for. Okay, we're taking that part off. Comment there, but that's me. But you're right. I mean, what was like? What do you know? Why was the merchandise so terrible from 2020? So much vastly different from 2020 to 2023.
I can't say it for certain, but like back in 2020, it was also reported that the league lost a lot of money. And I'm not exactly sure what those figures are, but I mean, just when you're building a spring league, like you're going to start dumping a lot of cash. So I think they were trying to cut some corners here, and like just everything failed in every regard. And I say it lightly because like running this stuff is so difficult. Like I really appreciate all the effort they put into it. But like I said in the article, just if this is the kind of state things are going to be released in, it'd be better just to hold off until next year when things are more ready. Just I'm speaking as a fan. I was ready to purchase a jersey of my own. Like I was settled in my mind, and somehow like it went from 100% to 0%. Like the moment I saw what was actually available, it completely turned me off.
Yeah. So like right here, Scott says, selling a jersey with the Rock's name on it for $250. Is it really cutting corners? Yeah, when it's cheaply made like it is.
Well, and they have to have everything new this year with it being the UFL. All the XFL stuff will be gone. Hence why there was all of them on sale. So I'm curious to see. It's still with Under Armour, but I'm curious to see if they're going to change any of that this year.
But it stayed with Under Armour though. So I mean, have you ever seen anything flashy come out of Under Armour? Yeah. So we're gonna get more black, and we're gonna get more gray, and how about a light gray? And let's really change things up. Here's a white T-shirt. I mean, they're about. Under Armour. God, they're about as bland as can be. I get the whole logo. I mean, whatever.
Gavin, thank you so much because you got Daddy Ed all riled up, and I didn't have to do it tonight. So thank you.
I tried my best
for getting him all riled up. So I mean, look, I think we can all agree. We can all agree that they definitely need to do a better merchandising kind of push, marketing push with all of this stuff, right? I mean, we can all pretty much agree to that one, correct?
Absolutely.
Right. Now, so Gavin, before we let you go, because I know you're a busy man, and thank you for joining us and all that stuff.
Thank you.
We do appreciate it. But like, what are you looking forward to in this season? Because you said you're based, you write for Pro Football Newsroom. You're based out of San Antonio, but you write articles for all the teams. Like, what is it that you're hoping to see out of this new incarnation of the UFL?
Well, a Battlehawks championship for starters, but
we planted a seed. We planted a seed in San Antonio.
Well, I will say I do remember being at the Alamo Dome. They had one of their promo guys. He was filming the crowd, and then the moment he got to me, I was gonna show off all my Battlehawk stuff. He had to stop filming right away because I was the loudest guy in the crowd. So, like us St. Louis guys do it different.
Now, Gavin, I'm trying to remember. Did we meet you in San Antonio?
You did. That's
right.
Yeah, I got a picture with you.
Yes, you don't have the hat on. That's what's throwing me up. I'm like, I know.
Hopefully it come with a
that picture works great for a fire starter.
Yeah. Hopefully you got some bubble gum to go with that cheap
You guys don't remember, Gavin is originally from St. Louis, moved to Texas, and was an enemy in the second best fan base, I will say, the San Antonio Brahmas. He was our ally down there.
Just for 1 week. See, I had to go covert. I bought my season tickets was on the home side naturally. So just for this one game, I bought a ticket on the visitor side. So thankfully nobody recognized me, but if they did, I probably would have gotten beat up. So
did you see the way too early UFL football rankings that was on Facebook today?
The one that ranked St. Louis 4th and like Arlington 2nd or something like that.
I have no problem being 4th because that's at least the top half. But do you see what San Antonio was ranked?
Well, I think a lot can change, but San Antonio unfortunately did have a disappointing 2023 season. But again, Battlehawks first, Brahmas second. I do love my Brahmas. Like the players were really nice. I got a bunch of autographs at the end of the year. Just like it's so good to have football in San Antonio. Like you said, they have a great fan base here. So just really excited. Like I'm hoping just if they can win a couple games and they can get a few more fans in the stands, like replicate some of that week 1 energy.
Now, Gavin, let's talk about that. Being from St. Louis, you know, because I remember when we met you, you're like, yeah, I'm a St. Louis guy through and through and through. And now you're in San Antonio, they don't have football. St. Louis lost their team. Try to explain to these St. Louis fans who haven't been to San Antonio. There's some on here, like Mike said right here. He goes, San Antonio was a hell of a good time last year.
Yes, it was.
Went there, said San Antonio was awesome. He was at the championship game. Explain to the fans in St. Louis why, if there's really any other, don't worry, Brett, we're going to get to that team. Why, if there's any other fan base that they should support, it should be the Brahmas fan base and be on board with the Brahmas fan base. Explain the comparisons of the two cities.
Well, both have stadiums from the 90s, so it's a pretty superficial comparison, but you can dig a lot deeper than that. Like both cities built these stadiums, the Alamo Dome and the Dome at America Center, respectively. And the intention was to attract an NFL team. St. Louis was lucky, and unfortunately, San Antonio wasn't. But there's a lot of passion in these cities for football. They love football. They love good football. And like the people here, they're ready to show up. And like it's just the general vibe is like we're just happy to have UFL football. So like I think there are a lot of parallels there.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. Like I said, I remember when we went to San Antonio for the first time, for the very first game with the Battlehawks. It was one of the best times, one of my favorite times there. Like right here, Mike says it. The San Antonio fans were probably the nicest I've ever been around. Everyone was so inviting and wanting to share their food and drinks nonstop, which is absolutely true. Absolutely true. All right, so Daddy had asked you about the rankings, right? I saw that, and that's what I was trying to pull up. So we have Brett in here. And now let me ask you, because, covering the USFL and the XFL and all that, I'm gonna stir the pot, but I kind of have to agree with a certain part of that rankings, but on a certain teams, I would have put the Stallions at number 1 because they're 2-time defending champions. I'd have put the Renegades at number 2. And then I'd put the Stallions at number DC at number 3. And then, Philadelphia's not in there, then I'd have the Battlehawks at 4. I mean, how do we know that these are what the rankings are going to be?
I think that's really fair. Like these power rankings are borderline worthless. Like the teams are going to change so much over these next few weeks, these next few months. Like you see how many teams in the XFL last year, like they started with what seemed like a very stable line of quarterbacks, and by the end of the year, just the lineup was completely different. So it's going to change before the season starts, and when the season starts, a lot of stuff is going to change then as well. Like these spring leagues have been very volatile, and I don't see any reason why that's going to change in the future.
100% agree with you on that. All right, Gavin. So we're not going to hold you up not too much longer. Tell everybody where they could find you, all of your stuff, and all that good stuff. What, Daddy Ed? Why are you laughing? Oh God.
Go ahead. No, I'm just
find me.
watching the bantering going on. That's
Yeah,
all.
I know.
Well, don't come to my house, but if you want to find me on X or Twitter, you can search up my name, Gavin Semler, or you can go on Pro Football Newsroom, and you can see all of my articles right there. So, yeah, always appreciate people reading my stuff.
Exactly. Well, that's why we had you. Arlington was like, "Hey, did you see what Gavin wrote?" And I was like, "No, I've been working all day." So he sent it over to me. He was supposed to send it to me, and I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Well, I said, let's get him on the show tonight." And then you see, next time you come on, bro, you got to have the hat back on.
Yeah,
that's how I remembered you.
Well, I do have my AJ McCarron signed hat over here. If you want to see that, he was super.
We're good in the trash.
Hold on. Speaking of that, hold on.
What are you talking about?
Listen, there is a disbursement draft coming up very soon. Right? Now, we do know that certain players, I want to get your take on this. So, one of our topics, and before we let you go, you'll start this topic off, okay? What players would you like to see return or new players added to the Battlehawk team? Let's go with the offensive side. So we'll go quarterback, running back, receivers, and tight end.
Oh, my knowledge about these players is actually a little superficial, but I will say anybody who knows me personally knows that I've been a big Joe Flacco guy actually since I was a kid. So like when he said he wanted to play when he was a free agent, I was actually on the cusp of writing an article on why he should go to the Battlehawks, and I'm actually so disappointed I didn't because he's absolutely been tearing it up with the Browns. So I'm just thinking about how much integrity I accidentally sacrificed by not writing fast enough. But
so just Joe Flacco?
Well, I did see that Tom Flacco is on the Roughnecks, but I feel like in these developmental years, just the league's reputation is just so important, and it's so easy to build a reputation when you have big names. So if you have guys who want to play like Joe Flacco, if you can get some of these older guys who are still NFL caliber quarterbacks, even if that means being a backup, then it really goes a long way. Like people recognize those names. Like I saw on Twitter, and again, I'm not sure if it's accurate, so don't quote me on it, but like I did hear that Phillip Rivers was ready to sign with a team like last year or the year before that. I'm just saying, like, there are people who want to play. So like if it means paying them a little extra, I'm just saying the publicity that this will develop, like it's going to be like 10, 100 times like stuff like Matt McGloin and see, I can't even remember his name. Who's the Renegades quarterback back in 2020?
That was
Landry Jones. That's who it was.
Landry Jones. Jones.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like you gotta build your reputation. That's why you need fans in the stands. That's why you need people wearing your merchandise, and you need big names. And I just feel like the XFL has had some fantastic players, but they really need somebody who can like not be like so far ahead of the game, like not like Lamar Jackson, like right now, you know what I'm saying? But like just like somebody who is available and who will sell tickets. And just again, like the league is gonna probably lose money this year no matter what. So I think it's just really important to just spread the word, get fans in the stands, and that money will come back later.
Yeah. Daddy Ed, you're loving this. I could see it in your face, Daddy Ed, because you finally have somebody on this show that agrees with everything you've been saying over the months where I've disagreed with you on all of it. He's saying get the fans back in the stadium. Yeah, so there you go. All right, Gavin, thank you so much for joining us. Go to a Pro Football Newsroom right now. You guys can read his article. It's right on there. Gavin, you have an open door policy on this because, you know, you are in the enemy's territory of the Brahmas, but you are a Battlehawk fan. So you always have an open door on this show.
Well, thank you so much. It's really been a privilege. Thank you guys for having me on.
All right, buddy. Anything else before we let him go, guys? You want to ask him?
No, thank you so much for coming on, though. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Daddy Ed?
Nope, I'm good.
Oh, God. All right, Gavin. Thank you for joining us, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys take care now.
All right. We'll see you at some games.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see me there.
All right. So there you go. That is Gavin from a Pro Football Newsroom. Really good article. Look, I have to agree with almost I have to agree with everything he wrote in that article. I've always been a big proponent. I think that we need the better merch. I think that the logo, I actually liked the newer logo, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to having, as you know, people have said it, the silver turd on the side of the helmet, the armored eagle. I wouldn't mind having that, or the STL. And the mascot, I think a mascot would be cool to have.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all you guys are going to say to me?
I mean,
It's just, I'm just sitting back, taking it all in. You're actually kind of saying some positive things once.
yeah, I don't let that sink in that much because it's here today, gone tomorrow.
All right, so
gone for years.
Look, the draft is being reported. The dispersal draft is being reported to be in Friday, January 5th. It's going to be closed to the public, all that stuff. We won't find out stuff till later. Now, I had this crazy idea, and just hear me out on this. You know how we had these Bush Leagues? What's up, Predator Couple? You know how we had these Bush League letters of intent that were sent out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, draft me. The Ballhawk one says, "I don't get me wrong. I love the wing. I love the wings. I just didn't like the wing and sword on the helmet. I thought it was too gaudy. That was just my opinion. But what if these letters of intent were actually protection letters?
What if there were two letters of intent?
Well, okay, Hyena, what do you mean?
Meaning one letter is you're like for sure going to be with that team.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is you're secured now, but you could be gone, whenever they release you.
Ooh, interesting take. Daddy Ed, what's your take on it? Like, I like what she says, but what if these letters of intent were actually protection letters?
Well,
to protect, you to be in the XFL draft compared to the USFL draft.
Well, I think the one that the draft you're talking about for Friday is to add the 10 players from within the XFL, right?
Yes.
You're asking a guy to explain something I still don't understand today.
I don't think
there's a draft coming up on Friday, but yet you see teams players signing letters of intent with teams, and if they can sign a letter of intent to play with a certain team, then what's the use of having a draft?
Well, that's what I'm saying. What if the letter of intent? You know how they talked about how they had the. Okay, so here I just found it. So let me pull this up, and I know it's going to be hard to see, so I'll read it off. This is on. I found this on the Facebook page or whatever, right? So it says the league's contractual phase 1 is securing the surviving protective players from each USFL and XFL for the 42, right? And then the USFL can involve a 20 non-surviving players from teams. And then the dispersal draft will be players on rosters that were not picked up in the phases 1 and 2. So it seems like now that we have this draft stuff out there, it really seems like these letters of intent were actually. I do like this idea. I do like that idea for a halftime show. Wayne.
Okay. Wayne.
What do you think, Daddy Ed? What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'll be.
Why are you asking my dad that question?
Because listen, I can see me and Daddy Ed in there, not out there in some nice booty shorts and some halter top shoulder pads, tossing and
Driving
running.
around on my 4-wheeler.
Yeah. I'm talking about us in the lingerie. What did you think I was talking about, pervert? I was talking about me and Daddy Ed being in the lingerie, right?
Nobody
Daddy
wants
Ed?
to see you in a banana hammock, bro. Okay, nobody wants to see.
Very nice.
Nobody wants to see my dad in a banana hammock either.
See, look, Wayne, you're right. It would bring in the fans. If me and Daddy Ed were out there in lingerie playing football, you're right. It would bring it in. See, Ball Hawk, if you were out there, it'd be bringing. Yes. Am I right, Daddy Ed? We're doing it.
You probably wouldn't even. I'm not. I'm gonna shut up. I was gonna follow it up, and it doesn't need to be said. So
right. Look, see,
we got to remember we have a sponsor, Dirty.
That's true. That's true. So yeah. But now the more and more I look at this, now you guys tell me if I'm wrong. The more and more I look at this, right? It looks like these letters of intent were actually protection letters for these players. I mean,
okay, why do I love this so much? That is so funny to me. Okay, anyway, sorry.
See, yes, that Red Wings would look great matching Daisy Dukes. I'll rock it.
My.
I'll rock it. But I mean, am I far off to say that now
Show.
that we see this, that these letters of intent do not look like protection letters?
Oh, I don't think so, because I mean, really, if you're cutting 16 teams down to 8, there's already attrition going on right there. So just because a player signs a letter of intent with a team, there's so much talent out there now that it doesn't guarantee a seat at the table. I mean, yeah, just all it does is say there's a team that maybe has rights or is interested in you. But at the end of the day, if they're going to take their top 53 letters of intent, just basically, I don't know, don't hold much weight.
Right, yeah. See, Hyena? JR wants to see me and Daddy Ed playing lingerie at halftime.
Well, JR is, I'm sorry. I have no comment to JR. Thank you so much for your reply.
I don't know that.
So
right,
see,
Dad,
Ball Hawk 1 kind of agrees with you, Daddy Ed. Facts. Except Dirty's gonna keep digging into this because I'm there. If there's smoke, there's fire. Always smoke. There's fire. So let's really talk.
I think the letter of intent was more geared towards just letting the Stallions know that they couldn't have everybody. So I mean, the Stallions already got 130 on their roster. They don't need any more. So.
This is B-Hog Live. We are presented by F.U.E.L. If you do not know what F.U.E.L is the Fans United Experience Legion. We are going to have a chapter in every single city. Right there, the Fans United Experience Legion. You will slowly start seeing this. We are going to have flags. We are going to have T-shirts. All of that stuff coming up in the near future. So don't worry, you will see that. And we are also brought to you by Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company. Daddy Ed likes to call it the what, Daddy Ed?
I know what you want me to say.
You've been broadcasting.
You want me to say a California quality winery located in the Boot Hills of Hillsboro, Missouri. That's what you want me to say.
That has our awesome beer can, by the way.
Right, yeah. Hashtag we are the fuel of the U.S. Hyena, let me ask you a question. How is it that we've been doing all of this broadcasting on the X-Fan show, and Daddy Ed's been doing his new show, The Bottom Line, which you can catch a special show tomorrow on Pro Football Alliance, that when we get on B-Hawk Live, he just completely draws a blank.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Best looking beer can around, people.
Did you see
that.
that?
Look at that. Isn't that goes with the jersey?
Wayne, I'll work on that for you. See, if the nerd's listening, I do things for nice people like Wayne. The nerd, not so much.
Wayne said right here, and great tasting. It is a good tasting beer. It is a good tasting beer.
Look at the nerd. He said second best.
Well, I'm getting to it. Will the producer quit hitting buttons? I see all the comments. So here, I'll go right here. Put it back up.
Yeah, that's a perfect example right there. Jennings was Battlehawk property. So if we decide that he's one of the 42 we want to protect, the Stallions are out of luck, right?
I mean, they should be, but it depends on if he signed an NFL contract. If he had signed an NFL contract, then no. His XFL contract would be null and void. Basically, because that was the thing with the XFL.
If that was the case, then that means AJ is not ours.
Well, I'm glad that you said that, Scott. Right now, you can only get it at the winery. Where they're working with their local brewery. They're working with their distributor to get it placed out amongst different places. So, and at that time, we will let you know exactly where that is. Hey, you love the nerd because of his wife.
I do love Jill. I do love her. The nerd, not so much. Jill,
any word on Trey? No, have not heard any word on Trey, but I have a feeling Trey might be back in that, right here. Kirkland could come back to H-Town. Yes, you are absolutely right. Jordan Ta'amu could be a free agent. Could be. Who is Daddy Ed, who is the distributor of B-Hawk Live beer? Can we talk about that or no?
No.
Okay, no. It is Dirty. It is the Dirty Distributing Company. I've been very lazy with getting the beer out there, so I apologize.
It is probably safe to say that you should contact Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company directly for now.
So there you go, boys and girls, because Dirty Brewing Company, Dirty's distributor has been very, very bad as of late. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait. So
why is John asking that? He knows.
I know he does. Somebody goes, look, I love you, Amanda. Love you too, Amanda. Now, JR says, Russ Brandon just said yesterday that anyone who signed an NFL contract is still the previous UFL team's property. See, okay. I thought once you signed that, once you signed that NFL contract, you're.
Where did he say that at?
I guess he did that interview. Well, I mean, yeah, it's on
that.
He
did an interview with, was it ESPN?
Yeah, 101 or something like that. You didn't really see much of it because who really listens to terrestrial radio anymore?
Okay.
What?
Always gotta take shots at somebody.
I listen to satellite radio or Spotify.
To Howard Stern, people.
Not just Howard Stern, all that. Now let's talk about it. Players coming back. He goes, that's catchy. Brett goes, that's catchy. Dirty's distribution company.
Absolutely not. Brett.
Does that not sound like the cheapest beer? That's like the generic black and white brand.
I used to drink that where it just said beer. Just a beer.
Of course you did.
And then you graduated to the beer with the mountains that turn blue as they get cold or something.
Coors? No, never liked Coors. Never liked Coors. Jill, I like you. Don't worry, but I like you, Jill.
No, you don't.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about it. Players that could be coming back. What players would you guys like to see come back?
Butler.
To the Battlehawks.
Hakeem Butler. Of course, we got Mad Max coming on the team.
Wells.
Mad Max is back.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
of course got the first inductee into the U and the Lou Hall of Fame coming back to our team, Kevin Atkins.
I will tell you what coach I want to come back other than Coach Beck, which we are very happy is back. But I would like to have Ricky Prohl back. He is a very, very nice guy. So, and he's great at what he does. So it'd be cool to see him and Austin back together in action. That'd be fun.
Here you go. Akeem, AJ, Atkins, Fashar. No hands. Butler. I agree with John. Definitely did not be.
Mike Rose. Yeah, gotta have Mike Rose back.
You see, like right
here, have Panasiewicz back for sure.
Oh yeah, I gotta have Panasiewicz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes. They still sell the white can that just says beer on it. I know, Ryan. Every time I would go down to Wapapello, I would make sure I just find the white can that says beer, and we would drink it. Yes, you're absolutely right. Look, finally, Flame Wingman is actually finally saying something intelligent. I love you. You're finally saying something smart. That he's saying, see, I'm right on the line with them. Can you imagine? Imagine this starting lineup for the Battlehawks. Okay? You see, like right here, look, right, he says AJ, Akeem, and the down and dirty dude. Okay, yeah, no. But let's think about this. You guys ready? You got Bird, you got Mad Max as your running back. Okay? Your two receivers. You got Jeff Badette, Pearson, Pearl as a slot, right? Then on your tight ends, I'll even
what about Jay Peasy?
I just said Pierce. I said,
oh, okay.
Pearson. Yeah,
okay, sorry.
Take Jay Peasy. Then, as your tight ends, you got Sean Price. And as much as I've talked trash about the dude,
no.
Quiet, this isn't your turn. I'm talking.
God. Cody Latimer, come on, dude.
I'd love to have Cody Latimer.
Cody Latimer is the.
I throw out Lakeem Butler and I put Cody Latimer there as a tight end. And are you ready? The QB that I would want.
No, we don't care. We don't care. We don't need to see it.
A-Train, if you're listening, mute him. If you're listening, mute him, A-Train.
This offense. The one and only.
Mute him.
The one and only.
A-Train.
AJ McCarron.
You're so full of junk.
With that, no. And I'm going to give you the reason why.
Normally, okay. Now listen. Were we on the same call about an hour ago, or do I have dementia?
Listen, normally, look, he said he thought I was going to go with Cole McDonald. I love Cole McDonald.
No.
Nooch. Brett says the Nooch.
He's not a passer.
Be quiet, Brett.
Cole McDonald actually is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
they put him in as a quarterback because he had the running aspect of his game. Yeah. But he doesn't have the accuracy for a quarterback.
Listen, as much trash as I talk, I'm not. Everybody knows, if you know me personally, when it comes to professional football, I've never been a fan of Alabama quarterbacks. Never been a fan of Alabama quarterbacks. I think there's a lot of them.
Brett's gonna be. Oh God!
No, Brett knows this. Brett knows this. Brett knows that. Brett knows it.
See, did I not say that?
Because you two are like two peas in a pod.
Brett's on the cutting edge of football.
Neither one of you two are. Go back and watch the Player 54 special.
Where's your fake news button? Sorry.
Everything is fake news.
That's right. News. Hey, you're right. You are fake news. You are right. You are right.
What do you think of when you think of dirty?
Fake news.
That's right.
You are right. Baby. You are fake news. You are right on that one. But with that offense, and the way AJ could just hit guys, we'd be able to play a complete West Coast offense. With that, right?
What happened to you? What? You just were talking
if
junk
AJ,
on him.
Hold on. If AJ doesn't
he even called you out for talking junk on him. And now you're gonna sit here and preach. Oh, AJ's so great. Oh, AJ's just
No, hold on. I
fantastic.
didn't say AJ.
Oh,
I didn't say AJ is great. If
you
AJ
didn't
comes
have
back,
to.
I would like to see AJ. But if AJ doesn't come back, the guy that I think we should pick up is the one and the only
Need him, Arlington.
Danuch. Danuch should be our quarterback if AJ doesn't come back. And every fan in St. Louis would be loving him. They would all love him. All love him.
Arlington, you let me down. You were supposed to mute him right when he said the word.
Mm-mm.
No, I'm serious. Like, what players would you like to see come back? Would you like what players from different teams would you like to come over? Or who would you guys like to keep?
We already got the defensive player of the year from the Vipers.
Peter.
And if we back him up with Badet,
We need
we'd be
Badet.
stealing two of the top players off the Vipers right there.
Mm-hmm. Badet, and we'll take Sean Price too.
But here's the deal: that another thing I don't agree with the league, the way it's set up. We go through the whole process of signing players to teams. We go through the whole draft. What does Seattle do right afterwards, right before the regular season starts? They sign Josh Gordon. Wasn't there there was Pearson, or was it
Jay Peasy?
Yeah, there was a couple they signed right after the draft, and it's like, wait, what? If the other teams would have known that those guys were even available, would they have been just picked up to? I mean, Seattle was able to pad their offense big time right before the season started, just because of players that nobody else even knew was interested in playing in the XFL.
Yeah, we need a new kicker.
That's why I put it up. Will, she would, the hyena would agree with you, is that we would definitely need an upgrade on the punter and kicker.
I know one thing. I will not be picking him as my kicker for my fantasy football league.
Yeah, he was sub 500 till halfway through the season, but
yeah, like here, would you guys like to see Philip Lindsay?
Mm-hmm.
As good as he was in the NFL, though, when he started playing for Seattle, you would have thought that he would have been more of an impact. But the first couple of weeks they had him on the roster, he must not have been in shape because they didn't hardly even play him till they got to the playoffs. So
we need Lacobe Tucker, though. We need Lacobe Tucker. He needs to come.
We play indoors on, well, right now you'd have to call it cheap grass because we need a new field. I will agree with the doctor. We need new grass put down. But Coach Beck said it at the end of the season. What did we lack last year that really hurt us?
The quarterback.
We lacked overall team speed. We didn't have the
quarterback. Did you just say that?
I didn't say
that. He said that.
Daddy Ed said that.
The lies you tell.
Yeah, he said that.
Lies you tell.
Daddy Ed said that. That's fake news. Daddy Ed said that.
The lies you tell. Sorry, Daddy. Go ahead.
But I'll say it again, and I'm going to preach until they prove me wrong. St. Louis fan base offers the St. Louis Battlehawks a home field advantage that no other team in the league can touch.
Oh, shit. You do realize hold on.
They have to figure out
Hold on.
how to take advantage of that home field advantage because they went 3-2 at home and 4-1 on the road.
Yeah.
That makes no rhyme or reason when it comes to the home field advantage that they had. There's no reason why we should have been barely over 500 at home.
We definitely need better receivers. But I have a feeling
I hope they don't come back with the exact same wide receivers we had last year. I really do.
I hope Jeff Badet was just talking when he said that the Battlehawks told him that we were pretty much set at wide receiver, because I'm like, no, we're not. Now, when you look at the overall talent at the wide receiver position just in the XFL, don't even talk about the USFL. When you talk about the top receivers in the league, other than Hakeem Butler's stats, we didn't have anybody else that even hold a torch to the top 5 receivers.
Right. We needed receivers. Like here, like Wayne says, do you guys think that this will end up being the minor league of the NFL? Yes, I honestly do. I really do. I think it will be. That's just, yeah, like right here. Brett says it. DC and Seattle just came to St. Louis and played lights out last year. It happens. Here you go.
There's a difference between playing lights out and getting. We got. I can't say the word I want to use, but when it come time to where we had to take care of business at home, we didn't even come close to taking care of business at home. It was. We got to figure that out, whatever that means.
Here's the thing I'm worried about. So let's really talk about it. We have this new league. We know that we are in the XFL conference. We know there is a USFL conference. So with us, we have St. Louis, DC, and San Antonio. Okay, on the USFL side, we have Birmingham, Michigan, Memphis, and the
and the USFL imposter. That's our cheating scandal right there, that Houston's going to give us a bunch of intel on what's going on the USFL side.
Here's what I'm looking forward to. Listen, I as much as I hate to say it, after watching the USFL for 2 years and watching the XFL from 2020 till now, we see there's a reason why I'm glad these two leagues have merged, okay? Because now we're going to get some better quality of football, because now the top tier players that are just trying to make it to the NFL we're going to have them in one league now instead of dispersed between two leagues. Because you saw it with both of these leagues, there were a lot of teams that weren't that good. I mean, if you really think about it, in 2023, you had DC, Seattle, the Battlehawks, and in Houston and Arlington, right? In the USFL, you had the Stallions, the Showboats, Philadelphia, that were right there at the top of their leagues, okay? I'm telling you, if I'm an XFL guy, I'm worried about the Birmingham Stallions because they are the two-time defending champs. And that's
they're the two-time defending champs, but do we really know what the quality of football was in the USFL? Do we really know, was the New Jersey Generals, was the Philadelphia Stars, was the New Orleans Breakers, were those teams really quality teams, or were they layovers?
Okay, if you say that, then I could say, was the Brahmas a quality team? Was Vegas a quality team? Was Orlando a quality team?
Look at the top to bottom in the XFL, from top to bottom. Well, how many one-score games were there in the league-wide?
80. Me and Arlington did it 82%. Same with the
82%.
Right.
So
same
that tells me that there's not much of a drop-off top to bottom.
Same with the USFL. Most of their games were determined by 1 point or one possession or less.
But I think Brett hit it on the head with the Battlehawks and the fact that our defense lacked team speed. And Coach Beck even said it at the end of the season. He needed more speed at the linebacker position, and he needed more girth on the defensive line to stop the run.
Let me ask y'all this real quick. Would you want Silas Kelly on the team next season?
No, he got knocked out by a quarterback. Bum, get rid of him. Got knocked out by a quarterback. Get rid of him. No. Don't want no weak-ass linebacker. He can go somewhere else. I want him to play. I just don't want him on our team.
You took that one play, and you said that was enough.
That was enough. You get knocked out by a quarterback, that's it. You're done.
I don't know, man. This is different. Like, for the Battlehawks, you know, you're playing against a bunch of guys that, especially on the Battlehawks, that have they can get to the quarterback. They can.
Whoa. What team
Yeah.
did you watch?
Listen, they might
No.
not get a lot of sacks, but they got a lot of hurries and pressures. But that's what they did. Okay.
Why are you looking at me? You need to be looking to the
What
side or
team
something.
did you
How'd
watch?
you get in the stadium, A-Train? How'd
Yeah.
you
I mean, how did
you
I get in the
standing on the
stadium?
field, man?
Get into the Liberty Bowl.
Haters,
Did
let the
did
man
they
talk.
did they did they
Quiet.
not knock off the Houston Roughnecks the way that they did? Did they not do that?
Oh,
Who?
they bitch slapped the Roughnecks.
Thank you. Did they not? Okay.
Because of your
The
defense?
problem that they had was against the DC Defenders. They ain't got to worry about the Seattle Sea Dragons this time, but they surely have to worry about DC.
Ugh.
But they really got exposed both ways because
Yeah.
DC exposed
gonna
them
be
big
back?
time
Please
running the
tell me no.
ball, but then Seattle came in and threw the ball all over the place.
Is Abram? Where's Abram at? He can stay wherever he is.
Abram
Unless you
He'll
were
be
at the
playing.
Battlehawks, he ain't
Abram will
coming.
be back with DC on my fantasy team,
Listen,
anchoring my running.
y'all were getting pretty excited when the Vikings had picked him up. Were you not?
Yeah, he should have made
Yep.
the team.
Oh, listen.
He
He
should
Oh,
have
now
should
still
listen
been
to
on the
you.
team.
Now listen to you.
No, this dude was always an Abram fan.
He was.
I've
That's
always.
why we went.
Why would I have him on my fantasy team if I didn't like him? I drafted him number 1, A-Train. He was my first pick of the draft.
That's why I
should
went.
have
Don't try and label me now. And I want to show this right here. I haven't got this perfected yet.
Why are you ranking them so
I just want everybody to know that's not me saying it. That's not what I think at all. I'm just doing a service to everyone and letting them see that on Facebook today, the UFL had the way too early UFL rankings out, and they had the Brahmas at number 8. And I'm like, oh my God! And you know who put that on his
Wayne,
page?
your banner is gone. Gone. Pixie dust. Spit it out. All gone. Banner's gone.
Brett, San Antonio fans, don't get mad at the messenger. If you want to be mad at anybody, Brett Tears. He is the one that posted that on Facebook. Call him out, man. He's a Stallion fan. He's a Stallion fan. So let him have it.
All right. I'm glad you said that. So let's really talk about that. Let's talk about the annoying fan bases. Because now we have a league that has 2 annoying fan bases.
Yeah, St. Louis, because you're sitting in it.
St. Louis and the Birmingham Stallions. The Birmingham Stallions might be as bad as the St. Louis fan base, and they're nonsense.
The only difference is they get 130 players on their team. The rest of us only get 54.
Hey, and the other difference is they have 2 championships to boast.
Right, exactly.
So I can understand why they're bragging and boasting and a little obnoxious when you're winners. Come on, man. Didn't you hate the New England Patriots for a long time? You hated Patriot fans when they won their 6 titles. So
But what I want to know, when New England had the so-called dynasty in the NFL, they played in a division that was dog crap. They were guaranteed, God, what is it? They were guaranteed 6 wins. They were 6-0 before the season even started.
Look what Wayne said. He goes, but we also
Wait.
almost had 30,000 people. Right, exactly.
Wait, that's why y'all keep winning attendance championships and not winning actual championships.
Participation trophies.
Y'all are haters. Just haters. Just drink your Tang Haterade and go to bed, both of you.
Listen, don't get me wrong here. I think the Battlehawks will have a good team to field. You know what I mean?
Brett just said it. You see Brett? They're keeping all 130 players.
Yep.
Hey, that's a lot of checks, man. You sure you got that kind of money? I don't even think if they got ownership over here, would keep 130 players like that.
You're right. They are.
Yeah,
Right.
and I understand it. Birmingham, they deserve
So
that. You know what I mean?
yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, yep, you're right. Brett said he's hearing that AJ is signing tomorrow back with with the Birmingham Stallion. So hey, listen,
Oh,
if I'm AJ McCarron, I'm going back home. I'm going back home to play.
No, I'm thinking I want to
Going back
stick
home.
it to him.
Nope.
I think so.
I'm going
I
back
really
home.
don't.
You know.
That's something that's really compelling. But
Yes.
the
I'm
Battle
going
Hawks
back
got his
home.
rights though, Dirty. I'm sorry.
No, he's going back home. He's going back home. And
This
I'll
is
root
what
for
it
it.
is.
I'll root for Birmingham.
Home or not home.
Well, the good doctor likes to say that everything's fixed, right?
Uh-huh.
You can't come up with any better story for year one than having AJ McCarron returning to the Alabama promised land and sticking it to them on their
You
home
can't
field.
write a better story. The great Kathleen Webb, AJ McCarron, the pride of the Crimson
Be
Tide,
careful, man. Be careful,
returning
man.
home to deliver another championship to Birmingham, being the 3-time defending champs. You can't write a perfect story. You're right, Daddy Ed. You cannot write more of a perfect story. The son of Alabama with his queen, the prince of Alabama with his princess, returns back home to Alabama to play for his home team, the Birmingham Stallion.
And you said my
tell me,
dad rambles. And you
so
said
an-
my dad rambles.
so answer me this, Brett. Answer me this, Brett. Championship or let's say regular season. AJ McCarron jogs onto the field at the beginning of the introductions before the game starts. Does the Alabama crowd cheer him on or do they boo him? You make the call.
They're gonna cheer him. Come on,
Bottom line it for me, Brett. Bottom line it for me.
They're gonna cheer him.
They're
They're
gonna
gonna
cheer
cheer
him.
him.
What are they going to do, Brett? They're going to cheer him or are they going to boo him?
Would they cheer him more than if we had Jordan here?
See? There's a quality fan base right there. They appreciate what they had.
Right, just like we did with Jordan Ta'amu. We cheered Jordan Ta'amu when he was here.
That's right.
He came to DC.
Did we cheered him all the way up until the very
So
end.
answer me this, Dirty, because I know how you're going to answer it anyway. But I'll ask A-Train and Amanda. Then you can be quiet about it.
Yeah, see right here. See, he's right. He's right. This is why.
Shut up. Sitting there talking crazy, man.
Whoa, slow down, producer, man. This is this.
What producer? I don't know. The producer somewhere else.
There it is. There's the producer right there.
Really? These are the games that we're gonna play today. This is the games we're gonna play today. That's what we're doing.
Where you belong with me on Tuesday.
If Ta'amu.
Hold on, listen right here. AJ's going back to Alabama because somebody in St. Louis stole his mom's sign during the game. You're right. She was not very happy with that. Stole her sign. Yard sign.
Where's that sounder, Daddy? I need the sounder, man. I need my
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Nothing you hear on this show is fake news.
Everything is fake news.
That went off at like the most perfect
time. Almost made me spit out my drink.
That everything was perfect on that one.
You almost made me spit out my drink.
Everything that comes out of
here's the question.
Orange is fake.
Here's the question for the vast millions of our listening audience. We got the rights to AJ McCarron.
Don't.
The news feed comes out. Breaking news, ESPN. Ta'amu says, I want to be a Battle Hawk again.
Take it to Amu. Take it to Amu. Take it to him.
And you can even say the Nooch says, I want to be a Battle Hawk. So you got the Nooch, Ta'amu, and AJ. Who you taking?
Take it to Amu.
No.
To Amu in a heartbeat.
Tell me who my receiving core is.
Jay Peasy, Josh Gordon, Jeff Badette, and Ricky Austin Prohl.
Not if Fred Koss is still the offensive coordinator in DC. He ain't
You're
going
right. That's where he's
nowhere.
going to go. You're right. That's where
He
he is.
ain't going
Our offense.
nowhere. As long as Fred Koss is his offensive coordinator.
You got to
Point
realize the only quarterback in spring football that is undefeated in a dome
blank.
is Jordan
Is
Ta'amu.
Jordan Thomas.
Jordan Ta'amu is the only undefeated quarterback.
Last year, the
And Nucci's
quarterback
not 'cause we
position
beat
was
him
not
in Maryland.
important for the Battlehawks because we had to be down 14-0, 21-0 before we ever threw the ball. So
Yeah.
And that's right.
Okay.
The Battlehawks beat Nucci in his stadium,
All right.
so we're good.
If what is being rumored is true, how would you love to see a Battlehawks versus Stallions championship game
Nope.
played in St. Louis?
Nope. Don't want to see it.
You don't want to see
Oh,
that.
you're right.
yeah.
I forgot. Jordan did lose in the championship game, but he is undefeated in the Dome of St. Louis. That's what it was.
Dad, you would have to make sure you grow your nails out a little bit because you'd be sitting the whole time.
Yeah, I don't want to see. I don't want to see a Birmingham Stallion and Battlehawk
No,
championship.
I won't be biting my fingernails because I'll be out there riding a 4-wheeler and calling me Archie.
I want to
Oh,
see Houston.
you're gonna be
I wanna
Archie
see
B.
the
Hawk? Is
Battlehawks
that
in
what
I'm
you're
going to be
Houston.
Archie B-Hawk with a 4-wheeler
Now hold on, before we go, because we're in overtime.
doing handstands through the 50-yard
I
line.
want to get off the show because I have to get up in the morning, and I don't want to get Daddy Ed in trouble with Mama Bear.
Oh, yeah.
So refunds are being issued. Apparently, guys, check the spam folder. It was something with the merger. This is what I'm hearing. Something with the merger that it got messed up and put into the junk. It was a combining of the two companies' emails that got them moved into like some kind of potential junk. So check your junk folder or your spam. But the refunds are going out, and they're going out very, very fast. Like last I'd heard, I want to say it was like 85% or whatever, and all refunds should be issued with another dirty speculation by the date release the week of this schedule, which if you heard Russ Brandon, who has been making his rounds, he said the schedule will be released in the middle of this month. Now, speculation, but Dirty is going to say that the schedule will be out the week of June 15th. And I'm also going to speculate something else, too, because then by that time...
Wait,
June
the week of what?
15th.
Did you say June 15th like an idiot?
No. January.
Wow.
January 15th. Yes, June. We're not even going to know when our season's going to play. So it's going to be June. But I can tell you this. If you really look at it, and if you do it, I would say season game tickets will even go on sale the first week in February.
June.
And I'm going to say it February. June.
Our April games go on sale in June.
You're right. Championship tickets go on sale in June.
Get them April 1st. Get them April
You're
1st.
going to confuse everybody.
Here's my speculation.
Because he's sitting there looking like an idiot, so I'm going to make him look like a bigger idiot now. April 1st.
Speculation. Schedule will be released the week of January 15th.
April 1st.
This will be the last time Arlington ever appears back on B-Hawk Live.
That's what he thinks.
The week of January 15th, schedule will be released. Season game tickets go on sale the first week starting, I'd say, between February 1st and February 7th. And then I say championship tickets will go on sale June, close to around. So, Daddy Ed, if you need to get me a Father's Day gift, right? Just think something around Father's Day championship game here in St. Louis.
Don't let me see you, John.
So, and
the nerd.
we do have one more thing. We do have our big event in Houston, January 13th. It will be for the the Houston Area Women's Center. The X-Fan Legion. We didn't change the flyer, but the X-Fan Legion, because that's what you guys are. The F.U.E.L that runs this is sidelining domestic violence. R&R Sports Bar and Grill, right over there. There's the QR code. If you want to donate, you can go to the GoFundMe page and do it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there is going to be another pop-up event that same weekend in a city about 4 hours from here.
Memphis.
I think. Not 100% sure. Daddy Ed, anything you want to say?
100%.
I said not 100% sure.
I know. I said book it.
Oh, Daddy Ed said book it. Daddy Ed, anything you want to say?
Stay tuned tomorrow night.
Oh, you're so full of it.
Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, for the Bottom Line show. A-Train, myself, and we'll see if Easy-E gets back in time.
What about Brett?
Brett is always welcome on the Bottom Line, being a co-host, but I want him to get well.
That is true. Get well, Brett.
All my other competition keeps having him on the show and everything. Brett, you got to rest, man. Get out of the deer stand. It's not safe in the deer stand. Go inside the house, lay down, get better, dude.
Goodbye, everybody. Keep talking, Daddy Ed. Keep talking.
No, bye.
That's all I got to say about that.
You're so full of it.